Hey there. So I've got a 78 Goldwing that I'm restoring, also known as a GL1000. And I finally cleaned out the carbs with some Yamalube carb cleaner dip and got it started last night. However, I noticed when I had the intake manifolds off that the intake valves are covered in probably 1/4 inch of soot or whatever that crap is. So it doesn't really want to go too much higher than 2000 RPM before it starts backfiring and sounding like crap. So I've heard tons of pros and cons about Seafoam, but seems simple enough and cheap enough that why not give it a try. I bought the fuel treatment that you just add, I believe, in small engines is 1 ounce. 1 ounce per gallon. 1 ounce per gallon. However, they state that more the better. So I've got about 2 gallons of fuel in that jug, and I put 4 ounces of this in. And then once I get the engine up to running temperature, I'll start spraying some of the aerosol upper engine intake cleaner into it, which is a little tricky on the Goldwings because of the motor design. The intake is kind of in the valley in the top center of the motor, so that'll be a little interesting to get to. But I'll spray this short bursts a couple times into each carburetor, let it soak for 5 to 10 minutes, and then start it up and see how it runs, see if it runs any better. Could only run better given how much Coretta is in the intake, so this could turn into a very good infomercial for Seafoam. So here we go. So here's what I was talking about, the center intake thing. So it's not really easy to get to each one of the intake sides of the carburetors. So what I've done is kind of pulled up the intake box, the air box, and I'm going to try and go through there and just aim the Seafoam into each carb, and we should know if it's going in because it'll start kind of, the RPMs will come down. But I don't know if you could tell, there was a ton of smoke coming out the pipes. It's still smoking a little bit now. So it says we need to leave it soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. Come back, run it till all the white smoke is gone, and see if there's any improvement. If not, do it again. So in closing, I would have to say that the upper engine cleaner and lube, the aerosol, did work pretty well. And the reason I say that is because even though in the video it's hard to tell, just because I knew what was kind of going to happen if I revved it too high and knew it was going to backfire, I didn't really do it. But when you did see it backfire, I was only revving it to about 2,500 RPM, and then it would start to sputter and just get worse if I went any higher. And within 30 minutes and 3 cycles of using the aerosol, as you can see, it revved up to 5,000 RPM by the time I was done and didn't even sputter or backfire. So obviously it was doing something, and I don't think just running the bike for that amount of time without using the cleaner would have done the same thing. So I'm definitely glad I bought it. It was only $8, so pretty cheap, and now I think the bike will be running pretty well. I'm not so sure what the fuel additive was doing, but I suppose that could only help as well.